Chasing the highs, I know I can never get back, so I'm always on low.
I saw that on my For You page. I completely stumbled upon it. And for the most part, when I looked in the comment section, a lot of people were thinking the same thing that I was thinking. But then when I look into it, I had to scratch what I thought, but at the same time have to reiterate and overall just think of it of a different perspective. So if you come to see this picture right here, for what you see both Zoro and Sanji in knight armor. But if we look closely at the shield they're having, you will see something very interesting. With Sanji over here, Sanji has the shield that has uh, a horse logo on it. And for Zoro, it has like a phoenix bird looking thing. And in that video, he's trying to highlight that Oda foreshadowed pretty much the interaction, or maybe not the interaction, but he did try to insinuate that Oda foreshadowed that two out of the five Goroseis, which, by the way, spoilers for anybody who is not caught up to the recent manga chapters for Egghead Island. Basically, there are five Goroseis, and within two out of the three Goroseis have mythical fruit powers, or maybe not mythical fruit powers, but powers. To one of them being Venus being able to turn into a horse, and the other is able to turn into a Itsumade, which is basically this wacky looking phoenix bird shit. Now, when I look into some of those comments that he had, a lot of people are insinuating that it's foreshadowing the fight between, or the any a near future fight between Zoro versus Juro and Sanji versus Marcus Mars. And that would be the case too. It would make the most sense since Marcus Mars have a flaming abilities, and obviously with Venus Juno, he has the sword and shit like that. And I'm all for it. But when I look at this shit, I realize it's not like a solid picture. It's actually split. You see, one out of these two are two different cover story arts. This one came from uh 699, I think chapter 699, which is this one right here. As you can see up top there, my boy Sanji go. And then the other one, as you can see here, chapter 390, 387. So now after coming to that realization, I think to myself, damn, so you could really say it's foreshadowing, because you would ask yourself, what is that foreshadow? Or so I thought, because I had to scratch that notation. It could happen that they ended up fighting those specific Goroseis. There's a lot more people going for Jupiter versus Sanji, but Sanji versus Marcus Mars seems to be like a better fight, in my opinion, a more entertaining fight. But anyways, off topic, back onto what I'm saying. I have to scratch the mindset that it's a foreshadow for what people are saying, and then immediately I came to a different way of seeing it, where it could be foreshadowing something else. Going back to my man Sanji, instead of it representing Zoro fighting Venus Juro, this could more likely represent of Sanji meeting Venus Juro. Essentially, it just highlights that in the near future he might find somebody who has horse powers, and it's very interesting to think about it because it already fucking happened. Because for as we can see here, this is the first this is the interaction between Sanji and Venus Juro, and Venus Juro have horse powers. I forgot his horse devil fruit name, but basically he's a skeletal horse. He's a ghost rider horse, a ghost horse. And this one is a little bit tricky because if that's the logic that I'm going with, some people could say, well, Zora has never met Marcus Mars, so you can't really make this connection. I mean, true, there's no panel of him actually meeting Marcus Mars. However, in this same particular fight between Zoro versus Rob Lucci, Zoro was getting snatched by Jinbei, pretty much Jinbei was trying to get him out of there because I mean it's time to fucking go. And literally like the next page, or I think it's the next page, but in the same chapter, as soon as they left, Marcus Mars came swooping down to talk to Rob Lucci about where's York, which only means that if Jinbei never grabbed Zoro in time, or he never grabbed him at all, there would be a chance where he would actually meet Marcus Mars. So instead of looking at these two as foreshadowing as a battle, maybe this was a foreshadowing of them meeting the Goroseis. It's a stretch, but I mean, I have, well, one of the evidence here of him meeting Venus Juno, and this one was a almost because Jinbei had to get him out the way. Who knows what happened? Mike can even go as far to say that they might fight in the near future. There was a time, well, way back in the Wano arc, where Oda said it. I forgot where he said it, but he said he was gonna make something different. Some people speculate that the fight between Zoro and Sanji and King and Queen was gonna be a mixed match, whereas Zoro was gonna fight Queen and Sanji was finna fight King. Didn't happen, but maybe this would be the fight where they actually swap roles. Maybe it's Sanji that's gonna fight Venus Juro, and Zoro's gonna fight Marcus Mars. More likely not, because Venus has the sword, which he definitely would want. So more likely he's gonna be fighting Venus. And for Sanji, a lot of people think Jupiter. After seeing the feats of Itsumade, Marcus Mars, I kind of want that. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think my perspective of this foreshadowing is correct, or do y'all still think this is just a battle between like um the two Goroseis versus the two wingmen? Let me know.